I'm here with the Clawson Police Department. It is just across the parking lot. I'm here today to talk to you about social media and other crimes that seem like every day I get a new report about. This presentation is called The Power of Knowledge because the school district didn't think avoiding jail was a good topic. So, not going to be as stern. I understand that you guys will talk a little bit amongst yourself, but let's try to keep it to a dull roar, okay? If you have questions, let me know. I'd be happy to fill in any gaps that I have. First off, is everybody about 15 or 16?
Nope.
16? 14? Okay. All right. How many people here have cell phones, iPhones, stuff where they can access the internet? All right. So, 1912, phones first came out, right? Very limited, not many people had them. Rotary dial, really cool. 1987 is when cell phones first started making their appearance. If anybody's ever seen reruns of like Saved by the Bell, they have the Zach Morris cell phone here. But they really didn't do much. I had my first cell phone in 2000, Nokia brick. I had 100 minutes a month. It cost me $60, no texting, and I could play Snake. It was pretty high tech. Now, a lot of other people had that flip phone. It was a StarTech. It had a green screen, and the only thing you got to see on it was the phone number you dialed. Very limited, very bare bones. But it worked. But if I had that in school, didn't matter if it was Monday and Tuesday, any day of the week, if they took it away from me because I wasn't allowed to have a cell phone in school, the only way I could get it back was by bringing in a parent on Friday, between the hours of 3 and 4. If my parents couldn't come that week, I had to wait until next Friday to get my phone back. So phones have changed a lot, phone policies have changed a lot. But more importantly, phone laws have changed a lot. Every day, you could be violating a phone law or a social media law, and you're not even aware of it. Do any of you know that there are laws governing Facebook and Twitter, Kik, Snapchat? Yeah, you could be breaking the law right now and you don't even realize it. And that's why I'm here to talk to you today. So, 2012, anything you need is at your fingertips. So, what is my struggle? What are your parents' struggles? What are your teachers' struggles? How to keep you safe without becoming more micromanaged, right? I'm sure you feel that way. My parents are looking over my shoulder. My teachers are telling me what to do. My coach is always riding me about, getting my grades up so I can play or being a better worker. If I have a job, my boss is riding mine. The last thing I need is the police looking over my shoulder telling me not to send a message to my buddies. I'm not here to make your life difficult. You know what? You guys might be really nice, your girls might be really nice, but my life is much easier when I don't know you. Because the second I know you, it's either you're there because you're a suspect or because you're a victim. Very few people know the police in any other way. That's why we get bad reputations. Everybody loves the fire department, right? You get cats out of trees. But the police, they arrested my brother, my cousin, my friend. The police aren't always the nicest people to me. That's our perception. And you know what? I'm okay with that. Because nobody wants to live in a city that has a lot of crime. That's why the population for Detroit keeps dropping. 20 years ago, it was over 1 million people. Now Detroit's population is just under 800,000. Detroit has a bad reputation. And it sucks. I love Detroit. Go down there all the time. Casinos, games. It's fun. But does anybody want to live in a high crime area where you have to lock up everything, have bars in your windows? It's not the best lifestyle. I wouldn't want to live it. Some people do. Some people have no choice, and it's hard. My brother lives in Detroit. He likes it. But the police are necessary because we want to keep you safe. And if I never know you, then that means you're getting through your life without being a suspect or a victim. And I'm happy with that. So my job is to keep that going. My job is to keep you out of trouble by teaching you about the laws you might be committing or breaking. So, first law. Malicious use of a telecommunication device. Your cell phone. Frightening, intimidating, annoying, or harassing. Falsely reporting a person ill or dead. Repeatedly calling and hanging up. Threatening harm to a person or property. If you do these on the phone, on Facebook, on Twitter, you're committing a crime. That crime is a 6-month misdemeanor. Cost you $1,000. Not including court fines and fees and lawyers. That's just the ticket. That's what you owe, no matter what. Just because you think it's fun to call your ex-girlfriend or your ex-boyfriend and hang up a bunch of times. Or put on Facebook, yeah, wait till I see you at school tomorrow. You're going to really see what's up. If I take that as a threat, and I go to the police department, now you have to answer to that. Can I tell you how to feel at any particular time? No matter what I say, I'm telling you, it's fine. It's okay, it's a joke. Can I do that and you still be happy? Even if you kind of feel like it's threatening or assaulting or intimidating? Can I do that to you? No? Why should anybody get to dictate the way another person feels? You don't get that right. If you put a message out there and it's a joke, but I take it as a threat, it doesn't matter what you intended it to be. It's a crime. Using someone else's computer. Shall not interfere or disconnect. Read, copy a message without authorization. Shall not use an electronic device without permission. If you set your cell phone down to go up and talk to the teacher, go to the bathroom, and someone comes up and grabs it, and they go through it, they find a photo they really like, whatever it is, and they forward it to themselves. Should they have the right to do that?
No.
Should they have the right to go onto your Facebook page if you left it open in the library and post a message saying, "Oh, this is John, I like boys," whatever. Should they have the right to do that? No. It's very interesting the things people write on other people's Facebook pages. Girls are a little nicer about it. They're like, "Oh my God, Stephanie, you left your internet open, ha ha ha." Guys are like, "Yeah, I'm John, I like boys, it's great." You know? But it's a crime. As funny as it is, it's a crime, which is a 2-year felony. 2 years. $5,000. What's that? If it comes to you? Yes. Like I said. No, but like I said, I can't tell you how to feel. If you do it to somebody and they don't think it's a joke, let's say you do it to your buddy sitting next to you. You guys are buddies, right? You say something or post something to his Facebook as a message and he's having a bad day. And now he doesn't think it's funny though. We'll get to that later. My point is what you post, no matter how you intended it to be read, can be interpreted differently. And that interpretation can get you in trouble. A lot of trouble. So laws governing posts. So this is putting something on Twitter or Facebook or Kik or Snapchat or anything else. Any medium. Unconsented contacts tend to frighten, terrorize, harass. Cause recipients to feel harassed, terrorized. Like I said, I can't tell you how to feel. You can't tell me how to feel. No one has that right to do that to anybody. So you saying it was a joke doesn't matter. And to prove that, not only do they smack a 2-year felony on that, I have real-life examples to prove it. I'll get to the questions in a second, okay? Real-life examples. These are things that people posted as jokes, right? 14-year-old girl on Twitter. American Airlines. "Hello, my name is Abraham, and I'm from Afghanistan. I'm part of Al Qaeda. And on June 1st, I'm going to do something really big. Bye." Facebook or Twitter sent that message and her IP address, which is attached to anytime you log onto a computer, to the FBI. The FBI came to her house and arrested her. Well, hold on one second. Once she got that message, she posted on Twitter, or something? I'm just stupid, okay? It doesn't matter if it's a joke. American Airlines didn't think it was funny. Neither did the FBI, who arrested her, held her, checked her for contacts or links between terrorism, and then charged her with malicious use of a computer. For a joke. All of you are getting old enough to where things that were funny when you were kids, or things that you think aren't a big deal, they're now becoming a big deal. You know, a kid getting mad at his mom, pushing her when he's 3, versus a kid getting mad at his mom and pushing her when he's 17 or 15 is a big difference. Same thing. Okay. 15-year-old girl arrested on stalking. Accused of cyberbullying peers. Okay. She was charged. She was arrested. Last year. These laws are new because the technology's new. Kick wasn't around 10 years ago. Kick wasn't around 5 years ago. So they're writing these laws, and they're getting them out to protect you guys. And they're doing it to protect you from others like you. 12-year-old Rebecca Sedgwick. 2 girls were arrested and charged of felony aggravated stalking and the death of a 12-year-old who jumped to her death. She was being bullied, taunted, terrorized. She transferred schools. They went on Facebook and found girls from that school and told those girls to harass her. This girl was a victim, and she killed herself. That's her. 12 years old. These 2 girls are the ones that did it. They drove this girl to kill herself because they thought it was funny.
So did the other girls get in trouble?
Yeah, these girls got arrested.
No, the other girls went to school.
They did. I mean, these were the big girls involved. They're the ones that sent it out there, told other girls to do it. I don't know what happened with the other girls because it was numerous. But these girls were charged. After she killed herself, this girl right here posted on Facebook, "Yes, I bullied Rebecca, and she killed herself, but I don't give a." This is her being arrested. That's her taken into custody at 14 years old. 14. So everybody in this room who is 14 or older can sit there and be like, "I'm a kid. I'm 14." Doesn't work like that anymore.
They were charged with adults.
They were charged as an adult. The court doesn't care anymore. If you commit a crime that one would deem as a crime that an adult would commit, if the court thinks that you were in a frame of mind to commit that crime, why shouldn't you be in a frame of mind to do the punishment?
Listen, when you were talking about stalking, like say you went on someone's Facebook page, you were just like looking at what they posted, right?
No, we'll get to that. Yeah, no, we'll get to that in a second. All right, we'll get to the Facebook stuff and Twitter. But posting threatening messages, 2 years. False report of terrorism, for 20 years. Reporting a bomb threat. Oh man, I didn't study for my test. I'm just going to call him bomb. 4 years. 4 years. If you write it on a bathroom stall, and we review the cameras, and you're the only one who went into that bathroom for 2 hours, and we find out that it was you who did it, 4-year felony. Doesn't have to be on the phone. It can be a message. You can scrape it on a desk. It's a bomb threat. Every year we have to, there seems to be one every year where we have to have everybody wait outside the school, we have to check backpacks, check lunch bags. That's why we're doing it sometimes. It's not like we like messing with you and having school start late. It's because there might have been a bomb threat. And we want to make sure, like I said, that you guys are safe. So question, what is extortion? Extortion is the act of obtaining something, especially money, through force or fear. So, if I have a naked photo of one of you, let's say, I'm like, hey, you're going to do this, or I'm going to put that photo out on the internet. It's just like blackmail. Okay? The best thing you can do is think about something before you send it. Trust me, I have impulse control issues too. Alright? Sometimes I say stuff and I'm like, I'm an idiot, shouldn't have said that. Sometimes I do things, I'm an idiot, shouldn't have done that. But luckily I know the law and I know that boundary. Some of you don't, and that's why I'm here to teach you that. So I don't want you to have to come into my office and explain what you did, and the excuse you give me is, I didn't think it was stupid. Because from now on, and as you get older, the court doesn't care if it was something stupid that you didn't think about. You did it, you have to deal with it now. There is no better example than this. Sexting. Alright? Who knows the age of consent in Michigan?
16.
That's really impressive. It's 16. The age of consent in Michigan is 16. Now, here's the tricky part. How old do you have to be to send a naked photo of yourself? 18. Yeah, so listen. You can be two 16-year-olds engaged in a completely legal sexual relationship. But if one of them decides to send a naked photo to the other one, that's a crime. So, sexting, get with the specific definition so there's clarification, is the act of sending sexually explicit photos electronically, primarily between cell phones. Child sexually explicit material is the depiction of someone under the age of 18. The crimes include creation, solicitation, possession, and dissemination. 4 crimes. So, but it's like, what's sexually explicit? That's pretty vague, right? Well, that is anyone under the age of 18, without clothes, partially nude, is child pornography. Think about this. Someone asked earlier, well, what if I'm in my underwear? That's like a bathing suit. That is correct. But, you know, underwear can be pretty revealing nowadays. I have cable. I know. Right? Yeah. I have HBO. If you are showing, hey, listen, if you are showing something that is normally covered up by a bathing suit, the chances are it could be sexually explicit. So, just taking that photo, I'm going to stereotype here, but girls. I get a lot more reports about naked photos of girls than I do boys. Guys, this isn't a challenge to go out and be like, well, we can change that. We can go to Texas Hills. But the fact is it is more commonly a girl thing to take nude selfies. If somebody wants to call me out as a liar, I have proof. I have caseloads of files that prove it. But doing this, taking that photo, is a 20-year felony. All right, now, but the question is, why? Right? It's like, why would anybody do it? Oh, well, that's easy. My boyfriend asked me to. He's like, please, I won't show it to anyone. Until we break up, then I forward it to my buddies, your parents, my teacher, whoever. Anybody that I can Snapchat to is going to get a copy of that photo. But guess what? Guys, just asking for that photo is a 20-year felony.
Real talk.
So girls, I'm sure all of you have been hearing about peer pressure since you were like 5. But just because someone asked you to send them a photo because they just committed a felony doesn't mean you need to commit a felony and take a photo. Because taking the photo is one thing, but the second you send, oh, we'll get to that in a second. Jessica Logan sent a photo of herself to her boyfriend, nude photo. They broke up, he sent it to all his buddies and all the other girls in the school. She was taunted and harassed and she killed herself over a photo. Yeah, she hung herself. So, because of a photo. Because everybody was calling her a slut, a whore. But, having that photo. So girls, even if you take that photo and you never send it, you know, it's not like your boyfriend asked or a friend asked, you just have that photo. Be like, hey, I'm bored, it's Saturday morning, what else should I do? I'll take a photo. Why? I don't know. I'm not a 15-year-old girl. I can't explain what you do. But if you have that photo, even though it's of yourself, just having that photo is a 4-year felony. What?
Oh, God.
For future reference of your new self. We'll get to that. Alright. So, hey, hold on. We got one more crime. Hey, we got one more, remember? So, girls, you have the photo because someone asked you to do it. So you send it to them. Distribution. If you want to look up distribution of pornography, you're going to see a lot of pictures of creepy people. But it's a 7-year felony. And just by sending a naked photo of yourself, you are doing the same thing. So, these are the crimes you are committing. So, there's an 18-year-old guy in a relationship with his 17-year-old girlfriend. Right? They're having sex, they're 18 and 17. But he asks her to send him a photo. She just committed a 20-year felony. He committed a 20-year felony. She takes a photo. She committed a 20-year felony. She sends him the photo. She committed a 7-year felony. He receives the photo, 4-year felony. One photo. She committed 27 years worth of felonies. He committed 24 years worth of felonies.
Oh.
Hold on. Yes. Hey, listen.
I was showing her.
So, what if I see one? What if I get a photo? What if I hear about a photo and I didn't ask for it? Right? There's this girl that's like crazy likes me and she keeps like sending me these photos and I don't know what to do with them. Turn off your phone and give it to the police or give it to a teacher. Do not, hold on, I need to stress this. Do not forward it to a teacher or the police or anybody. No, if you forward it, it's 7 years. Yeah, so let's say you're trying to do the right thing. Let's say you get a photo you didn't ask for, right? And you don't know what to do with it. If you get it and then you forward it to somebody just because you're like, I don't know. I'll send it to my dad because he'll know what to do. Turn the phone off and give it to the police department. Alright? Now, the question I always have is, how will anybody find out? If it's between me and my girlfriend, she sends me a photo. My phone, my girlfriend, it's fine. Well, it's not. Because phones are lost. Phones are turned in all the time. Phones are borrowed. I borrow my buddy's cell phone. I'm like, hey, my phone's dead. Can I borrow your phone real fast? I call them. What do you do when you borrow someone's phone? They're not standing right next to you when you're done. You go through it. But my point is nothing you have is really private anymore. People go through phones. People borrow phones. You let people borrow phones. Phones are lost. Your phone, you turn it in. Hey, my screen, my battery's not lasting. Fix it. You go to Apple Care. You turn in your phone. You know, I'm pretty sure they're not just like, okay, I'll swap out the battery. I'm not going to look at it. Right? Yeah, right. But there was a point a couple years ago when people were still turning in Kodak phones where the people developing the photos would flip through them and then they'd call the police because they found a pornographic photo in there and it looks like a kid. They'd call the police, we'd go there, we'd look at the photos, we would take who dropped it off, and then we'd go knock on the door. Photos will haunt you forever. But who cares? Right? Like Mr. Simon says, you know, people do. You get kicked out of Clawson High School because of a felony. Do you think any other school in this state will take you?
Yeah.
You know the felony? You think if you get kicked out of Clawson for a felony, your mom calls up Royal Oak. Hey, you know, my daughter or son got kicked out of Clawson, they had a little disagreement. They're going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, give me your name. First thing that principal is going to do is they're going to call up Clawson. They're going to be like, hey, we got this girl who wants to get into our school, or this guy. They used to go to Clawson, you know, what happened? Like, oh, they're under investigation for a crime. We decided not to have them here anymore. If you want more information, call the police department. They'll call the police department. They'll be like, yeah, you want a copy of the police report? Fill out a FOIA form. It's really short, really easy. Freedom of Information Act. Federal government passed that. You can get a copy of the report. But let's say, okay, fine, I'll just go to an online high school, right? Those are everywhere now. So you get your degree from an online high school. Now you want to get into a college. Fill out your application for Michigan State, who gets 20,000 applications every year for 12,000 spots. 8,000 kids won't get it, minimum. They're like looking, oh, online. Okay, oh, they went to Clawson High School for the first 2 years. That's weird. So they'll call. Hey, we have an application here for John Smith. He went to Clawson for 2 years and then went to online. Is there any reason for that? Oh yeah, there was a police investigation. Can't really say anything, call the police department. Now, do you think that dean, or that person in charge of letting in new people, is going to waste a single moment on calling the police department when they have 8,000 other people willing to fork over 20 grand a year for an education? Or do you think they'd be like, throw it to the side? So you end up going to an online college, right? They have those now. Now you get high school diploma, you got a college degree, now you're looking for a job. What's the first thing they're going to ask you when you apply for a job? Do you have a criminal record? And that is very easy to look up, especially when it comes to crimes like sexting, because most likely you're going to be a registered sex offender if you send a naked photo of yourself at 15. Or receive the naked photo of a 15-year-old. So if you, let's say you lie and you get the job and they find out, then they'll fire you. Or they won't even hire you. Can't get a job as a police officer, a lawyer, a doctor, teacher. A photo, a criminal record will follow you. These are things that everybody needs to start thinking about. Because your future, hey, your future can be ruined by one simple act. And that's as easy as opening your phone and hitting a send button. Proof. I said I'll give you examples. President's aide, Reggie Love. Went to Duke, played basketball. Was in a fraternity. Big man on campus. Right? Well, Reggie also liked to drink. He went to a fraternity party, different fraternity, and he passed out. They found out who he was. And he plays basketball here. Let's mess with him. I heard it. What they did was while Reggie Love was passed out, please contain your laughter. They teabagged him. You said you gave. Alright? They took photos of this. And then they posted it online. Well, Reggie Love got a job working as President Barack Obama's personal aide. Barack Obama was flipping through online and he saw this photo of his personal aide in that position. Guess what he did?
Fire them.
No! He called the CIA!
What?
He's like, hey, this is my personal aide, really good guy. There's this horrible photo of him online. Take it down. Get rid of it. Make that photo disappear. They attempted to get rid of that photo for a year and a half, and they could not. After a year and a half of trying, they went back into the president's office and was like, Mr. President, that photo's there for good. We can't get rid of it. So if you send a photo, if you have a photo of you online because you took it, you posted it, and then a week later, a month later, you regret doing it, you can't come to the police department and be like, Detective Mills, there's this photo of me online. I need you to take it down. Because if the president couldn't have the CIA do it, there is no way I'm going to. This is Reggie Love. These are the guys. I don't have the other photo on there, but like I said, it's still on the internet. You can type it in and find it yourself if you want to. Not right now. I know, I said this isn't that photo. But this is in the same series. This is in that same series. But this is this is President Reggie Love right there. Present day. Now, hey, put your phone away. You can do it later. Alright, look it up later. I have 20 minutes left. Alright. The reason a photo will never disappear. There's psychology behind it. Trying to delete something brings it more attention, and thus more people want to see it and save it. So let's say someone sees a photo online, they save it, they call their friend. Friend's like, hey, find this photo online. But you got smart, you deleted it. Well, someone already has it saved. Their friend goes online, they're like, hey, I can't find it. So he's like, oh, I saved it. Upload it back to the internet. And then he sees it, he saves it, he tells other people, they save it. The more people try to find it, the easier it is. Snapchat. Photos do not disappear, despite what you may think. There is a company in Denver. If you give them the phone number for the phone that sent it, and the name attached to it, and the phone number of the name that received it, they will get that photo to you for $300 to $500. One photo. So do not start thinking that it's okay, I'll send stuff via Snapchat, because it disappears after 10 seconds. It doesn't. But, you know, I know people say, well, if you take a picture, it sends me a notice. People are getting smart. People are like, all right, I'll open it next to one of my buddies. He'll have his camera phone out. He'll take a picture of my phone with the screen. So now you don't know I took a photo of the picture you just sent me. Nothing disappears. You guys are sophomores, right? This is when you need to start thinking a little more critically. Right here. 2 articles, both pretty short. The internet doesn't have delete key, and the web means the end of forgetting. Anything online will be online forever. So, I don't want you to be a 15-year-old or a 14-year-old or a 16-year-old to make a mistake, and then 10 years later, it comes back to haunt you, or 5 years later. Because imagine taking a picture of yourself right now. It gets put online, and then in 10 years, you guys, or 15 years, you guys have kids. And now your kids Google mom. They Google you, and they find your naked photo. Or your employer, or your boss, or your husband, or wife. These are things to think about. Alright. Here's a big one. Assault and battery. Fighting. 2 crimes. Assault is the act that causes another person to reasonably believe or fear an immediate battery. So, let's say I'm not happy with this person. I'm going to punch her. Or I'm going to make her think I'm going to punch her. And I miss. Or I hit the wall next to her. Or the chair. I didn't actually hit her, right? I can still be arrested for assault. She thought I was going to hit her. She had reasonable fear that I was going to hit her. Battery is the actual act of hitting that person. So guys, every year I get fights from guys over stupid things. My girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend, what my friend said about my girlfriend, or what my girlfriend's friend said about me, or a million other things. Trust me, going to jail for 93 days and having a misdemeanor on your record, a 93-day misdemeanor? 93? Because a 93-day misdemeanor, that's when we get to bring you into the station and book you and get your fingerprints, and now you're on record for it. What? You got a lot of questions. We'll talk later. All right. Now, nobody thinks about these things, right? Everybody is like running on their emotions. There's no sense of consequences. Well, punch causes death. One punch. This is that soccer game in Livonia. A referee was going to give a player a red card. As he's pulling it out of his pocket, the player comes up, punches him. Right in the neck. No, he's like 42 years old. The soccer ref was like 42, the player was like 30. Punched the ref died. One punch. He is charged with second-degree murder. Yes. I told you. So, but hey, right? This is the first time this has ever happened. Right? Wrong. Negligent homicide, Ohio, 1990 or 2004. Two guys fighting in a parking lot, 47 to 57. One guy punches the other guy. He loses his balance, falls and hits his head, dies. 47. It doesn't take much. Homicide by assault, 2013. A Utah teen, soccer player, punched a ref again. You guys, soccer players, you guys have attitude problems, right?
That's an understatement.
He punched the referee in the head after receiving the yellow card, charged with homicide by assault. He was 16. Like I said, critical thinking. Can't just do stuff and expect to get away with it anymore. You're going to get yourself in trouble. How many people are on Twitter?
No.
No?
No.
We daily? Alright, Twitter was originally set up to send news. It was. This was something set up to help spread news quickly. Earthquake in China. It was first documented 1 minute after the earthquake. The plane landing in the Hudson. The first photos of that plane in the Hudson River were found on Twitter. And the thing that really threw Twitter into popularity was the Japan earthquake tsunami. This tsunami knocked out everything. Phone lines, internet. People had no way to get in contact with their families. People who were vacationing were stranded in Japan. Their families thought they were dead. Well, they found people were on Twitter because Twitter wasn't that popular and they could still get messages out. People were putting on Twitter, my name is John Smith. My parents' name are Regina Smith. Call my mom, tell her I'm okay. Here's her phone number. Twitter, you can look up this incident and you can watch the flow of information in and out of Japan. Before it and after it. People were communicating with people in Japan to find out if their family members were alive. Because the internet, most run off satellites. Most of the internet's don't. Social media doesn't come with a warning device. I am not friends with Osama bin Laden on Facebook. If you guys are still on Facebook, I know it's going the way of MySpace. People don't have it as much anymore. But when you start accepting friend requests for people you don't really know, that is dangerous. So let's say that there's a girl named Stephanie, and she wants to be your friend. She's friends with 2 other girls that already go to Clawson. But they accept her because they'll accept anybody as their friend. So you accept her, right? What you don't know is that Stephanie's a 40-year-old guy who lives in his parents' basement in Ohio. Hey, it's easy to do. Anybody can create a fake email address. But, now think. What do you guys post online? You post pictures of your house. You're standing in front of your house, right? Homecoming, prom, whatever. Then you post, hey, it's my birthday. Thanks, Mom and Dad, for the video game, for the laptop, for the new phone. And then you post, hey, I'm going to the movies. So they know that's a 2-hour movie. They know you're not at home. They know you got a new laptop. They know what your house looks like. And they know you live in Clawson. Man, they can just go in and take anything you have, can't they? What you post on the internet should be monitored. You guys need to be careful. Because now people can track you. You guys check, you use Foursquare, right? No? Or Twitter, you log into places, you check yourself in. Hey, Cedar Point, checking in. Hey, going to the bar, restaurant, checking in. You guys, when people realize where you're not, right? When they realize you're not at home, that means no one's at your house. And they know where you live because they have a photo of your house now, and the city. You need to be careful with what you post. Now, like I said earlier, it's your life. I'm here to make sure I don't have to know you. You're not a victim, you're not a suspect. So, other than seeing you in the hallway, seeing you walking by at the park, hey, I don't really care. It sounds mean, but you have your friends, you have your parents, you have everybody else in your life. Last thing you need is me. But trust me, if I start getting reports with your names, I get to dive way into your life. I'll find your Facebook, I'll find your Twitter, I'll find your Snapchat, I'll find out your school records. I will learn so much about you. I'm going to know you better than your own parents do. Because I don't want you to go from this, right? So much potential, right? You have the world in front of you until you start making really bad mistakes. That Stephanie show, anybody? Yeah. Eric Foreman's sister, right? For you guys out there.
Who's that?
This is Edward Furlong, American History X, Terminator 2, big star in the 90s. I think he was like 16 at this point. Rich, famous,